Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my nightly soul share, where I get to share a piece of my mama soul with all of you. So today I want to talk about loss of control. And this is something for me that has manifested in many ways in my postpartum and motherhood experience. I like to call myself a recovering perfectionist, okay? I used to love to do everything so perfect, so curated, so like every detail needed to be so right in my job, my home life, even for like a vacation. I would have like agendas and schedules. It was nuts, right? Even if I went on vacation, I would have everything in like folders with plastic covers. It's horrible. You would never want to travel with me. Well, you would if you want a good time, but you wouldn't if you wanted to like have freedom and not be on a schedule. So when I had my son, I remember thinking, okay, he's here. Like, what do I do? So I went to like all these guides, these guidebooks out here. For me, my perfectionism manifested mainly through my biggest struggles, which was sleep. And that's a whole nother post for like, I could do like 10 posts on sleep and all the crazy things it's done to me. But the guides, so there's so many guides. You can learn how to like train your baby to sleep. You can learn how to do everything with sleep. You can co-sleep, you can sleep on the moon. I mean, there's like a zillion options, okay? So I remember reading all these things, what to do to get them to sleep. And let me tell you this, newborns, they don't want to fucking sleep. They just want to hang out. Sometimes they want to hang out, sometimes they want to do something. They don't want to sleep. So I remember reading these guides and thinking, okay, I've got everything perfect. The room is at a perfect 72 degrees. I've got the blackout shades. He's swaddled. We got the noise machine going. I mean, we did the bedtime routine. We sang the same song tonight. I mean, I would do all the things. And one day he'd be great. I'd get up at like a normal, reasonable 6:30 a.m., 7. It's normal and reasonable for me these days. And then the next day he would get up at 4:45, 5 a.m. And I remember thinking, I'm doing all of the things. Why are you not like staying asleep? And I would keep trying and trying and trying, and I realized it all came down to a loss of control. I could not control when he wanted to wake up, or if he was hungry, or it was time for him to get out of bed. I thought I could by doing all the things, but that wasn't realistic for me, and that was a big wake-up call for me as a mom. I also remember having feelings around breastfeeding all the time. I wasn't in control of my own body anymore. I felt like this baby was just attached to me, attached to the breast all day. It was hard to get out. I felt like I just wanted to leave. I wanted to get in my car. I wanted to go drive somewhere. I actually even remember one time I was gonna go see a therapist, right? Because I was kind of feeling a little weak. Probably should have been like really vigilant about going to go see somebody so I wouldn't have like, kind of lost my mind a little bit. But I remember thinking, I'm gonna go to this therapist, I'm gonna make this appointment, and I was so anxious about leaving for an hour because I'm like, what if he gets hungry? What if he needs me? What if this? What if that? And my husband had to like force me out the door, and I went one time and then I didn't go again because I felt like I had lost control of my ability to just like move freely. I always call it like when you're on a plane and they say like, you are now free to move about the cabin. You are not free to move out the cabin. At least that's how I felt. I felt like I was trapped for a long period of time until I gave myself, I think, permission to lose control. Like there's loss of control, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna just surrender into this and lose control. It has been life-changing for me, okay? And I was somebody, like I said, who could never do these things. I remember thinking when I was on maternity leave, I just want to go back to work and I want to have a routine and a schedule. I miss my commute in the morning. I miss sitting in my car for 45 minutes every day on the way to work and on the way back because it was so routine. I hated it when I'm doing it and like I'm doing it again. Yeah, I don't really care for the drive. It's not amazing and spectacular. But when I had my son, I remember thinking, okay, that's something I can control. There's a schedule, there's a routine, there's a known, there is something there. It's a repetitive motion, and it was very predictable. And I enjoyed that. And it was very hard for me to be around a baby who they don't really generally want to follow a schedule, and they're not predictable. One day is one thing and another day is another thing. So what I've learned to do is just surrender and accept it, that some days are just going to be different and it's always going to be changing. And my son is now a little bit over a year, and it's just as kind of crazy as it was in the beginning. I think I've just learned to surrender into when things aren't going according to plan. Like today, normally has 2 naps a day. Second nap, he didn't want to have it. And I was like, he's kind of a grouch the rest of the day. But whatever. And I started thinking, like, I wonder why he's doing that. Did we miss the nap for some reason? Did we do something different? No. He just didn't want to take a second nap today. And that's okay. So I want to just share that experience with you, that these things I think that we experience as moms when our children are very, very young, they're teaching us things. They're teaching us maybe where our weaknesses are and where our strengths really lie. For me, my son taught me, hey, we don't need to be perfect all the time. We can lose control. That's totally cool. And now I live a lot more of like kind of a free spirit life. I don't have plans on the weekend anymore. I don't always have every moment of my life programmed. I'm not, on point all the time. And my son has been the one that's really taught me that. So, I'm very grateful to the experiences I've had, especially around my perfectionism and loss of control. And so I hope that this resonated with somebody who's watching here today. And if you have any thoughts, comments, or messages for me, or topics that you want to hear about, send me a message. I want to hear from you. I'm just sharing my authentic, real self here, folks. So these are my stories. This is my experience, and it might be similar to yours. It might not. It might resonate. It might not. And I'm just out there sharing it because I feel like somebody needs to be talking about this stuff, because I sure as hell didn't hear about it before I was a mom. So anyways, I am sharing all the love, all the gratitude with all of you out there. Mwah. Thank you so much for listening in and watching me tonight. Hey, Emily, thanks so much. And I will see you all tomorrow night. Okay, bye.